There's no look, and credit to Angel Reese, who's had a fantastic year. Broke the WNBA rebounding record, not the rookie record, the league record. That's phenomenal. But in many years, she would be the rookie of the year. But this is clearly should be Caitlin Clark. I mean, she's phenomenal. She's in the top 10 in scoring, averaging almost 19 points a game, leads the league in assists. And you mentioned 6-1. She's averaged 25 points, 9 assists, and 5 rebounds during that stretch. And Nick, you probably seen it. Her shooting percentage is sky high for the WNBA. Yes. So, she clearly should be a rookie year. If she's not, it's a travesty and it's a bad look for the league.
It's a bad. It would be an absolute disgrace if she doesn't win Rookie of the Year. I almost think there's no way that she doesn't. I know there's been a lot of these issues, this back and forth nonsense, but I don't see. It's too inevitable. Caitlin Clark is too insanely dominant that there's just no explanation why you could say that Angel Reese is the Rookie of the Year. Before they tried to say, oh, well, Angel Reese, her team is doing better, which I disagree with, but at least it's an argument, right? At least it's something fundamental. They don't even have that now. Literally, the Chicago Sky may not even make the playoffs. While the Indiana Fever are going up and up and up, they can get maybe to the 7th seed or maybe even higher. The 6th seed, I think, maybe even higher. So it's just crazy. And I've been through this on my other channel. If you don't subscribe to that channel, it's JWL Hoops. That's where I talk primarily basketball, so I definitely recommend you subscribe. This channel I also talk basketball as well, but that channel is definitely more basketball centered. So definitely please feel free to subscribe to both. I'd appreciate it. But I already talked about this over there about how you can make the argument that Caitlin Clark is the actual MVP. And you're probably like, whoa, no, that's too extreme. That's too extreme. It's actually really not, okay? Considering what Caitlin Clark is doing with her team and how much of an impact and how much of a swing of wins from last year to this year that Caitlin Clark has done is quite remarkable. And of course, we know A'ja Wilson is the front runner to win the MVP. Now, when we look at this, we can see that Caitlin Clark is averaging 18.7 points, while A'ja Wilson is 27.5. Caitlin Clark has 5.6 rebounds a game, while A'ja Wilson has 12. And now the big one is Caitlin Clark has 8.4 assists a game, while Wilson has 2.4. Okay? What does this mean, though? Because it's hard to figure out, well, what are assists? What are rebounds? What? We know that assists are guaranteed points. We know that, right? We know that. And if anything, we also know that Caitlin Clark would have more assists if her teammates didn't blow so many wide open shots or layups. Not to mention, some of those assists lead to threes, and some of her non-assists that we don't see are free throws. They're fouled, right? So they still lead to points, but they don't show up. So even if we just do a very, very, very conservative and just say that every assist is worth 2 points, which we know it's worth more than 2 points, not to mention that's not even accounting for the under. So this is an underestimation because it's not even accounting for the other points that are caused by her passing. We get that when we add up all of her points and all of her assists, you get to 1,169 points, okay? Whereas A'ja Wilson, she only makes up 1,033 points. So what does that mean? It means that Caitlin Clark is responsible for more offense, more production. She does more for her team than A'ja Wilson does. By definition, that makes you more valuable. That makes you the most valuable. Yes, A'ja Wilson does plenty on defense. Not disputing that at all. But let's not act like Caitlin Clark is some scrub defensively, like she's like a defensive liability. Okay, this isn't 2013 Steph Curry right now, right? She's no liability on there at all. And the rebounds, I get it, 5.6 to 12 rebounds. Rebounds are an inflated stat in the WNBA. It just doesn't matter to them. There's so many missed shots. And in the modern basketball, the whole name of the game is transition defense. So as soon as the offense puts up the ball, as soon as they realize that it's not going in, many of them are already trying to run back on defense. So a lot of rebounds are just give me rebounds. And A'ja Wilson is the center. She's often the biggest, strongest woman on the court, so of course she's going to get those boards. That's just the way it goes. So a lot of rebounds aren't earned. We think that all these rebounds are like Dennis Rodman level rebounds, where it's fighting tooth and nail, getting your elbows out, and really competing hard for them. Some of them are there, of course. Even for Angel Reese, honestly. Not all of Angel Reese's rebounds are just misses off of her own shots, as everyone likes to highlight. But we think it's so much more that these rebounds are in the trenches. And they're just not. They're really not. Go watch the games and you'll see. They're not. But Caitlin Clark's points and assists, those undeniably had a massive impact on the Indiana Fever and what they're doing. It can't be denied. Just watch the game. Not only do her points either keep her team in the game or have them winning, but then her assists keep everybody involved. And they exhaust the defense because they just run the length of the court, and Caitlin Clark will score in like 2 seconds. She pushes the ball down the court. She will be at before the opposing 3-point line. Okay? So essentially the lane of the opposing basket, and will launch the ball down the court, the length of the court, for a quick 2. It's insane. That puts so much pressure on the defense and exhausts the opposing team. Not to mention, that then makes it easier for her own team to get rebounds because of the argument that I made earlier with the transition defense. They know as soon as Caitlin Clark has the ball, they have to sprint. So if they shoot and it's a missed shot, they know we got to get back on defense. We got to get back on defense. Because Caitlin Clark's about to get it in the outlet pass, and boom, easy 2 points. Or it leads to a foul. Like, that's the effect that Caitlin Clark is having. So it's almost a crime that we only talk about her in the light of Rookie of the Year. Because people think like, okay, Rookie of the Year, that's a fair debate, or that's like a fair award to give her. But no. MVP, that's a bridge too far. And I don't think it is. I'm not saying that she should definitely have the MVP. I'd have to think about it more. I'd have to really go and watch the games more deeply for both of them, quite frankly. I'd have to think about it a lot more. But based off of the amount that I have watched, which is a fair amount, it has been a fair amount. I've been really bought into the WNBA, I'll be honest. It really feels like right now, if you don't want to give Caitlin Clark the MVP, if you don't want to say that she's the best player in the WNBA, I understand that. But it's not like she's a 4 and A'ja Wilson's like 1. At this point, I'm seeing it 1A and 1B. I'm seeing Steph Curry and LeBron James. You could make the argument for all those other years that LeBron James was the MVP and not Steph Curry. And you can make the argument that Steph Curry is the MVP and not LeBron James. That's the way I see it right now. And so much of what made LeBron special, especially back then, was his physicality, his strength, his size, versus what made Steph Curry so special. And so they become difficult to compare because it's such different styles of play, such different body types. The physicality is so much more different. And so with all of that, quite frankly, I lean towards Caitlin Clark. And yeah, the idea that Caitlin Clark doesn't win Rookie of the Year, oh my God. At this point, there is no argument for Angel Reese to win the Rookie of the Year. There's just none. None. The biggest diehard Angel Reese fans, it's just straight delusion. It would be straight delusion. Caitlin Clark would be averaging a double-double if her double-double stat wasn't reliant on people make or missing layups. Because she's averaging 8.5 assists. It's not hard to imagine that she should be having 10 assists a game. It's really not. I mean, heck, she might be able to, like, do that. She might be able, I'm not sure, I'd have to do the math, how many assists she would have to average to, like, elevate that up. Probably not. She would probably have to average, like, 12, 13, 14 assists a game for the next, I forget how many games. There's not a lot of games left, so it's probably impossible. But next season, I wouldn't be surprised if she gets a double-double every single game. She averages a double-double and nearly a triple-double. That's how amazing Caitlin Clark is. And then they just all went, all they want to point to is Angel Reese's double doubles. Yeah, well, her last double double, or the one double double against the Indiana Fever, and I made a whole video about it. She stayed in when they were down by 29 points against Caitlin Clark and Indiana Fever. And she stayed in with like 3 minutes to go to try to get that double double against all the backups. Players that no one even heard of, that haven't gotten a minute of time. That's how she got her double double. And that's what they want to hang the hat on of how great Angel Reese is. You can talk about how great Angel Reese is, but stop with the double-double nonsense. Like that means anything in basketball. It just doesn't. It just doesn't. And her rebounding is legit. It's not all misses, off of her own misses. Some of that is there, but it's not all of it. That definitely has been exaggerated a little bit. So this isn't meant to try to rip Angel Reese. I'm very happy Angel Reese is in the league. I think it's a great, rivalry between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. This is shaping up to be a Steph and LeBron type thing. But Angel Reese has to play significantly better for it to truly reach that level. Because right now it's shaping up to be Caitlin Clark and A'ja Wilson. That's what the comparison is. A'ja Wilson to Caitlin Clark, not Caitlin Clark to Angel Reese. But those are just my thoughts. I would absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think? Do you think Caitlin Clark should win Rookie of the Year and maybe even the MVP? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.